Tonight, on Unsolved Mysteries, a bitterly cold night, an icy road, a young woman stranded in sub-zero temperatures. 7 hours later, she was sound, literally frozen stiff. Death just a heartbeat away. In desperation, her friends and family started a prayer train, believing only a miracle could save her life. Hello guys, welcome to the J Zone, and today it is the holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and we are talking about Unsolved Mysteries, one of my favorite miracle cases, Ice Woman. And we talk about the story of Jean Hilliard. Now, do you believe in miracles? If you don't, maybe it's because you haven't yet heard about Jean Hilliard, the night she collapsed in the snow and froze almost as solid as a block of ice for more than 6 hours. Now, it was a December night, December 20th, 1980. Jean was 19 years old and traveling outside her home of northern Minnesota. She chose a scenic route, a country road she had driven routinely 100 times before, but tonight it would be different. Her car swerved and she ended up in a ditch. She didn't know what to do, if she should stay there. Maybe somebody would come by and find her. Maybe she would just sit there all night. But Jean made a decision she would later come to regret. She decided to walk. She was barely dressed for the outdoors. It was 25 degrees below zero with a wind chill factor minus 70. Jean wore a thin sweater, parka, jeans, dressy cowboy boots, not even a hood on her parka. Let's see. Sorry if I'm looking down. I have my notes to remember everything. The walk, Jean decided to walk to her friend's house. She knew neighbors who lived close by, so she thought she could make the walk. Unaware that every second the cold was sapping precious heat from her body, bringing her to a perilous state of hypothermia. It was so debilitating it took Jean more than an hour just to walk a mile and a half. Finally, Jean made sight of her friend's house. She was almost there. And the last thing Jean remembers is that she saw her friend's house and she thought, oh my God, I can make it. I'm almost there. And that's the last she remembers. Later on that morning, the sun rose on a clear, bitterly cold day. Jean's friend opened the door to a horrible sight. Jean was nearly frozen stiff like a block of ice. The hospital staff have seen hundreds of frostbitten cases, but nothing like this. They put blankets on her. They put warm bottles and compresses on her. They had never seen anything like this in their hospital. The hospital staff put out all the resources. But Rosie Erickson, a hospital staff worker, worried that it would not be enough. She believed what Jean needed was a miracle. Could anything save her life? So Rosie Erickson called the pastor of her church and simply stated that Jean Hilliard from the Lingby area was brought in under frozen condition, very critical, and that she needed prayer. Soon after, Jean's friends and family phoned each other and got together on a prayer chain. And it was about an hour so later that Miss Erickson realized that she looked up at the clock and she said that she still remembers that day. She got chills to her spine and remembered that Jean started to respond and she came back around and she thought, yes, this is working and God is answering prayers. Jean miraculously made a full recovery. She spent 49 days in the hospital and no life learned side effects or anything like that. Now, Jean, 15 years later after the story aired, Jean is now a married woman with 3 small children, and she credits not only the nurses and doctors who worked on her, but all the many people, family and friends and neighbors who prayed for her. And she credits them with her miraculous recovery. And she recounts that, quote, there were many people across the nation that night that were fallen under the same condition that she was, and they died. And that she just believed that it was the hand of God that responded to her and saved her, and that all the people who prayed for her and that God responded to them. Now, I first saw this story way back in the 90s. Just a little backstory if you're new following me. Again, welcome to the J Zone. I'm a huge Unsolved Mysteries fan. I have been since a childhood, so I've seen this case many of times and it's always stuck with me. And I think other shows have also covered this case, which I'd like to look into and research more about it. But what do you think? Do you believe it was a miracle that brought Jean Hilliard from the brink of death? And where is she today? I always wondered, like the Unsolved Mysteries, people who have been featured, like where are they today? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, this holiday season. I hope you all had a wonderful Merry Christmas. Excuse my voice, I have a little cold if you can hear it. And I hope you all have a blessed and happy new year for 2024. Again, my name is Jay. This is the J Zone. If you're just tuning in, check out some of my other Unsolved Mystery videos if you're a fan of that. I previously did the segment of the Tatum's ghost story, and I did a soundtrack unboxing, and I did recently there was an Unsolved Mysteries 35th anniversary behind the special celebration, and just check out some of my other videos. I recently did my kidney transplant story, and coming soon is the time I met Michael Jackson. So again, the J Zone. You can find me on Instagram at the J Zone 87. That's THAJAYZONE 87. All right, you guys. Until next time, take care. And remember, perhaps you can help solve a mystery.